Hello guys, welcome in this video where I got another RPG book overview. It's Heart, The City Beneath from Rowan, Rook and Deckard. I received this game a few days ago and I must admit I fell in love with this book, with these rules, with this art. In this video I don't want to deep dive into rules and make something like a review. That's not the goal. I just want to show you this book and maybe explain it a little bit. So, shall we? It's a hardcover book with a nice matte finish. There are two bookmarks, red one and black one, and that's always nice. First pages are dedicated to introducing Heart. And what is Heart? In Heart, you are playing in a world that's beneath ground. Huge caves with cities, forests, wildlife all around, and deeper in the ground, those things start to be weird. Like, really. Imagine walls made of flesh with pulsing veins, smelly flowers with human teeth, monstrous adversaries, etc. Did I mention that this game is heavy body horror kind of stuff? No? Well, now you know. Deeper you go, all those places called landmarks in this game starts to shift. I would bet that here was city last time I was here, but now it's not here. Then we figure out basic rules. In this game, you use dice pools made with D10 dice. When you roll your dice pool, you take the highest dice and use its result to figure out if you are successful, partially successful, or it's fail. There are no HP, instead of it there is a resistance system, and if you roll partial success or fail, you are taking stress to one of those resistances. There is blood, mind, echo, fortune, and supplies. Then after taking stress, GM rolls D12 to resolve if you take fallout, and fallouts are those things that has impact on your character. There are also other dice used in the game, used mainly when dealing stress to adversary or when healing, for example. I didn't want to explain the rules, but whatever. Those are just bits, there is much more, but I'm not going any deeper, I promise. On the next page, there is explanation of skills and domains. You either have skill and domain, or you don't. Those help you build dice pool, where actions of your character always looks like skill plus domain. Example is, when your character fight against cultists, you will need to roll kill plus occult. You always have one d10 in your pool. Then, if you have skill, in this case kill skill, you add another d10. And if you have also domain, you add another d10. Easy peasy, what's next? In this game, characters are called delvers because they delve deep into the heart. And the next pages are for creating your own delver. Delvers are made with ancestry, class, and calling. You can choose from 4 ancestry. There's Alfirs, kind of high elves, Drows, dark elves, humans, and gnolls. Gnolls are something like hyena-like looking characters. Then there are callings. There is 5 of them and are really important because your calling is making your character its own. Calling is telling you why your character is down here and what it's trying to accomplish in the heart. With a calling, you will also get this list of beats. There are minor, major, and zenith beats. Your character has always 2 active beats you choose and tell about them to GM. His work then is to make situation where your character can accomplish your beat. For minor beats, it should happen in one session. Major and zenith beats can last longer time, but in my group sometimes I'm just not able to make even minor in one session, but that's okay. This system of beats is something that I really enjoy and it really helps you to improvise and build crazy stories. And important thing is that with accomplished beat, you are getting new abilities for your character. Beats can also have negative effect on your character, but it's okay and those things often make great stories. When choosing beats, it's great to step out of your character and think like you are director of story of your character. What should happen to him now? What can be interesting? After callings, there are classes. You can choose from 9 classes and those are really interesting and a lot of fun. Choosing class gives you equipment, resources, and starting skill and domain. When creating Delver, you also choose some abilities for start, and other abilities you get when beat of some kind is accomplished. For minor beat, you get minor ability, ADC. After a lot of pages full of classes, there is a section called Rules in Detail, and guess what? There are rules described in detail. Whoa. Here is described how to build dice pool, how difficulty of action is resolved. Action can be standard, risky, dangerous, and impossible. There is also nice quick rules to reference sheet, how healing works, removing stress or ongoing fallouts, and of course section with combat. First time I went through these rules, I was quite confused. Couldn't wrap my head around it, and it can also happen to you if you are used to play D20 games like Dungeons and Dragons. But when I figured out what's going on, oh boy, I love this game so much. If you play the Blades in the Dark, you probably get it immediately, because it's very similar, or I have this feeling at least. After rules, we dive into a list of fallouts. There are minor, major, and critical fallouts. Those affect your character in some way. Minor fallouts are nothing big, obviously. You can be Tyrant, which is minor fallout and blood resistant and cause you to not get dice from skill, or broken fallout and supplies resistance that cause you that one item is broken and need to be repaired. Major fallouts are something like broken leg. In that case, any action involving legs will fail. And critical fallouts indicating end of your character. But it shouldn't be like you get critical fallout and GM tells you, bam, your character dies. You should accept that story of your character is ending and work it out with GM how he dies. This game can be deadly, stories of your characters are mostly tragedy, but you should decide when to die. After fallouts, there is a resources and equipment section. Resources and equipment has tags that gives them some special abilities. There is always dice written next to equipment, and this indicates the damage you are going to deal with it. But this dice you can find also next to resources, and it shows you the price of this. Like necklace made with human teeth, not from human being, D6, taboo. This says it has value of D6, and it has tag taboo that says it's not going to be accepted for barter in most places. This way of shopping and purchasing things is quite weird, but you will get it once you read it, I guess. Equipment is divided to kill equipment as weapons, mend equipment for healing and repairing things, and delve equipment for traveling. Then there is explanation of how traveling through the world of hard works. It's divided on landmarks and ways between those. This traveling is called a delve, and your players will need to fight through several obstacles when traveling from one landmark to another. Those delves has resistance value, and your players with their actions are reducing this value. Once it reaches 0, the delve is over and your players reach next landmark. Then there are tips how to make map for your heart, and after that there is a section that helps you with running the game, how to work with atmosphere, how to work with beats of your players, a lot of useful tips there. Then there is a chapter called The World of Heart. This gives you all this fluff about heart world, religions, festivals, major organizations, how time in heart is measured, about heart itself down deep there, and you can also read the geography descriptions for all domains. Next chapter helps you to build landmarks for your story and also gives you a lot of landmarks you can use divided by tier of heart they are on. Imagine a landmark that looks like a stomach of a huge monster. Yep, that's here, and that's nothing. After landmarks, we get a chapter with a lot of adversaries you can use in your adventure. Those has classic stat block with a description, their resistance value, protection, difficulty, and others. And then we are at the end of this beautiful book where you can find map for your adventure and a character sheet. So I hope I managed to show you this piece somehow good, and if you enjoyed this video, I'll appreciate like and subscribe. Also, if you have any question or I said something wrong, write it down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.